1815, as Europe burned through the most expensive war in its history. One family was quietly funding both sides. They had no army, no country, no crown. And yet, for over a century, the kings of Europe owed them money. This is the story of how five brothers built the most powerful banking empire the world had ever seen. It began in a place most people would never escape. The Judengasse, the Jewish quarter of Frankfurt. A single cramped street locked behind a gate every night. This is where Mayer Amschel Rothschild was born in 1744. He started with almost nothing, trading rare coins. But Mayer understood something his rivals didn't. Money wasn't about gold. It was about trust. And trust could cross any border. He talked his way into the court of one of the richest men in Europe. Prince Wilhelm of Hesse, and Mayer became the man who managed a fortune. But Mayer's real masterpiece wasn't money. It was his sons. He had 5. And instead of keeping them close, he did something no one else dared. He scattered them across Europe. Amschel stayed in Frankfurt. Salomon went to Vienna. Karl to Naples. James to Paris. And the sharpest of them all, Nathan, went to London. 5 sons, 5 capitals, 1 family, connected by a private network of couriers, faster than any governments. While kings waited weeks for news, the Rothschilds knew in days. They had built something Europe had never seen. The first truly international bank. Then came Napoleon. War swallowed the continent. And war is expensive. Britain needed to pay its armies across Europe, but moving that much gold was nearly impossible. So they turned to Nathan Rothschild. Using his brother's network, Nathan smuggled gold across enemy lines and financed the war against Napoleon. Moving fortunes through a continent that was trying to stop him. He didn't just lend money to a government. He became the engine that kept an empire fighting. And this is where legend takes over. The story goes that Nathan learned of Wellington's victory at Waterloo a full day before anyone else. That he raced to the stock exchange, faked a sell-off to crash British bonds, then secretly bought them all, and made an unimaginable fortune in a single afternoon. There's just one problem. It isn't true. That dramatic version was invented decades later in an 1846 smear pamphlet designed to make the family look sinister. The real story is almost more impressive. The Rothschilds simply had better information, a faster network, and the nerve to bet big when others panicked. They didn't cheat the system. They understood it better than anyone alive. By the mid-1800s, the Rothschilds may have been the richest family on earth. They financed railways, industries, and entire governments. Their name became a symbol of wealth, of power, and unfairly, of every conspiracy people invented to explain a success they couldn't. But strip away the myths, and what's left is simpler and stranger. 5 brothers from a locked street in Frankfurt who understood, before anyone else, that in the modern world, information is money. And that idea, it still runs the world today.